Hi, I'm new here. My channel is about top quality media. Thanks for stopping by. What is 2025K Crash? Random notes. This is a home for experimental art, truth-seeking, rebellion, off-world stage parallel media, community building, disbelief culture, objectivity, skepticism, aesthetic pursuits. Here is a place to study models, not to push them. World government mass media mind control deprogramming. Meditation. Action. Ivory Tower alien anthropologist attitude. Open model philosophical worldview valuing high information positions. Concurrent programming. Synchronization between mass entertainment and news events. In short, is it apparent that as fakery is exposed, action taken becomes more effective? There is a goal here to combine optimal value-dense information with peak aesthetics. I will argue this point. What more could you want out of life? The biggest conspiracy. How to deprogram yourself. What the truthers are not telling you. How to be a real rebel. Trump's big secret. What politicians aren't telling you. Why the left always loses. Why the right always loses. Why the alt party always loses. There is no difference between these two parties. Proof of world government. The New World Order is a lie. Exposing the deep state. Shaming Democrats. Shaming Republicans. Shaming alt parties. So you want to know the truth, you can't handle it. Context/framing. Ambivalence. Falsifiability. Deduction. Epistemology/ontology. Aesthetics and brain chemistry. Hashtag love you all. Hashtag look of the day. Hashtag fashion. Hashtag style. Hashtag trend. Hashtag chic. Hashtag lifestyle. Hashtag trendsetter. Hashtag stylish. Hashtag trendy. Hashtag art. Hashtag design. Hashtag artist. Hashtag illustration. Hashtag drawing. Hashtag artwork. Hashtag creative. Hashtag sketch. Hashtag digital art. Hashtag graphic design. Hashtag art of the day. Hashtag inspiration. Hashtag modern art. Hashtag illustrator. Hashtag fine art. Hashtag artistic. Hashtag arts. Hashtag creative process. Hashtag contemporary art. Hashtag art gallery. Hashtag designer. Hashtag art lovers. Hashtag design inspiration. Hashtag artsy. Hashtag art lover. Hashtag art world. Hashtag creativity. Hashtag photography. Hashtag minimalism. Hashtag pop art. Hashtag art collector. Hashtag illustration artists. Hashtag art life. Hashtag color palette. Hashtag typography. Hashtag art studio. Hashtag portrait. Hashtag art community. Hashtag visual art. Hashtag graphic designer. Hashtag design life. Hashtag creative art. Hashtag art of the day. Hashtag poster design. Hashtag doodle. Hashtag handmade. Hashtag artist life. Hashtag line art. Hashtag surrealism. Hashtag design art. Hashtag fine artist. Hashtag graphic art. Hashtag design inspiration. Hashtag texture. Hashtag mixed media. Hashtag art_daily. Hashtag creative process. Hashtag sketch of the day. Hashtag concept art. Hashtag geometric art. Hashtag pencil drawing. Hashtag traditional art. Hashtag art collectors. Hashtag visual design. Hashtag light design. Hashtag contemporary design. Hashtag hand lettering. Hashtag ink drawing. Hashtag crafts. Hashtag concept design. Hashtag love your soul. Hashtag healthy habits. Hashtag spiritual health. Hashtag love. Hashtag happy. Hashtag campaign. Hashtag growth hacking. Hashtag blogger. Hashtag vlogger. Hashtag viral. Hashtag collabwithme. Hashtag storytelling. Hashtag explore. Hashtag colorful. Hashtag happyplace. Hashtag positiveliving. Hashtag dailygratitude. Hashtag lifehacks. Hashtag lifeisgood. Hashtag beauty. Hashtag journal. Hashtag photoart. Hashtag everydayphotography. Hashtag flawless. Hashtag aesthetic. Hashtag beautyvibes. Hashtag glamlook. Hashtag beautyshots. Hashtag beautyaddict. Hashtag beauty. Hashtag awareness. Hashtag mindfulness. Hashtag leadership. Hashtag success. Hashtag goals. Hashtag community.